to Psalms number 73. Psalm number 73. Let's look at verse 2 and 3. And then we want to look at 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Starting with Psalm 73, 2 and 3. And then 1 Peter 2 and 9. Amen. Amen. If you there, signify by saying amen again. Amen. Amen. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. 1 Peter 2 and 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praises of him who had called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. For the subject this morning, I want to give my testimony today. I want to talk with the subject, that's where I was when God found me. All right. I was right there in the text. Y'all may be seated. When God found me. In this psalm, Asaph, the writer, explains how he moved from complaining to conviction. Amen. From conviction to commitment. In the text, he explains how his life was totally out of focus. How he was focusing on prosperity of the wicked. He lost perspective on the real values of life. Now, the greatest value of life are the things that are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal. But the things which are not seen are eternal. We can't see heaven right now, but we know heaven is eternal. Y'all gonna pray with me? That's the place I was when God found me. I don't know where you was when he found you, but I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shores. The songwriter said, very stained with sin, seeking to rise no more. But the master, somebody said the master, of the sea, heard my cry. And from the waters he lifted me. Now safe am I. That's where I was when God found me. I was on my way. The old folks say to a devil's hell when he found me. When he picked me up out of the muck and miry clay. That's where I was. I was like the garbage can sitting out on the curb when the trash man came by and picked me up. But before the trash man came to get me, God found me. Y'all gonna pray with me? He heard my cry. First of all, My first point is, I was lost in my sin. I'll take that back. I said sin, that's singular, I'm plural, that's sins. Put an S on the end of that. The writer says, my feet were almost gone. He goes on to say that the proud and the sinful people were doing well. He said, began to covet what they had. Can I bring it home to you a little bit? It seems like those out there on the street always had pockets of money. You'll see them at Dillard's and other stores at the mall, always shopping during the week when you had to go to work and work all day and barely had enough to put 2 nickels together. They seem to be always healthy. And you was always been sick. He said, I slipped and almost stumbled watching the world instead of watching Jesus. That's where I was. I was looking at the wrong thing instead of focusing on the Lord. It's just like Peter. As soon as he took his eyes off Jesus, he began to sink. Y'all gonna pray with me? I was sinking once again, deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore. I took my eyes off the Lord. Can I help somebody? I was brought up in the church. Amen, somebody. I knew how I was supposed to act. But I strayed away. And my feet almost slipped. My feet was almost gone trying to keep up with the wicked. You ever try to keep up with them? I mean, like I said, they always got something. Always driving nice cars and, amen, having fancy parties and nice clothes and all those type of things. In order for you to keep up with them, you had to do some things that wasn't going to help you in the long run. Amen. In order to have the money that they had to spend, you had to go borrow. You had to go sell. Or you had to go steal to keep up with them. Y'all gonna pray with me? I don't know about you, but I was going ragged trying to keep up with them. Y'all gonna pray with me? Well, there's a few things you need to know about sin. I'm gonna talk about my sin. Maybe y'all ain't never had sin like I had it, but sin chokes, it provokes. Sin tarnishes and punishes. Sin itches and switches. Sin brings about sorrow. Sin is followed by sadness. Sadness is followed by suffering. Suffering is followed by sickness and death. The wage of sin is death. But the gift of God is. But Howard, not only was I lost in my sin, but I couldn't help myself. Yeah, it's one thing to be in trouble and can't help yourself. Johnny Cochran gone now. You can't call him. Perry Mason been gone for a long time. You can't call him. It's pretty bad when you're in trouble and you can't help yourself. My feet, my steps had well nigh slipped. Yeah, I was just about ready to fall. I was like a man standing in a slippery place. If you ever walk on some ice after the snow had fell and you're trying to get to where you're going, and not only you slip it on smooth surface, you'll slip it